level 80, you're already looking for a new piece of gear, regardless of what your current one is, because, well, the new base type can get better rolls. So base types not being a thing anymore is really good.
So, are base types completely gone, or is there still a little bit of, like, this is a dex plus strength type?
That stuff, yeah, like implicits and all that stuff is tied to it. Like you're gonna see like a two-handed spiked mace that has bleed as its implicit, and then like that one can have its own tier versions of itself, but it's the same item level 1 to level 100.
Gotcha. Do they still do
You're
the
not gonna
whole
be
like armor attributes kind of tells you what it's going to give between armor, ES, and evasion?
That I don't know, because all of the videos that they showed, they were just like hovering over an undetailed piece of gear that no one was ever hitting like the full description. No one ever hit alt to like show the full details. But I imagine they still have their ranges. But we also don't know if sacred orbs exist. So, like, if they don't exist, then how do you roll the ranges? Blah, blah, blah. There are so many currency questions that I have.
I'm
I
looking
still
forward to
don't know what the
learning.
damn divine does.
And we probably
still
won't
have
for a while.
they have not once shown a divine orb yet.
What if it's
I
something
imagine it still rolls modifiers, but what it does is going to be interesting. Because it's not going to have the same value it did in PoE 1. A lot of stuff, the market is going to be wildly different.
It's going to be the new
Exalts
orb
are
of
going to be
alpha.
cheap. Like, Exalts are going to basically, I imagine Exalts are going to be the new Chaos Orb. That's going to be your dollar. Chaos Orbs, who knows? Ball Orbs are going to be much more precious. Those are going to be up in value.
Do we have any idea how important, like, hoarding items to sell at vendors is going to be in the early to mid game?
Early game and mid game, from what I understand, it's going to be you want to split between selling for gold and selling for shards.
Gotcha.
Because Regal shards are so valuable early to get that magic to rare upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, by the way, there's Regal shards now. Like, there were Regal shards in 1, but you could only get them from Harbingers. So like now they're just part of the like normal vendor pool. Which is cool. I like the fact that shards are a vendorable thing now than that instead of just like the 3 that were, which was transmute, alchemy, and alt. I think those are the only 3 that you could vendor for shards in 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, your wisdom scraps, the most valuable currency.
So identifying and all that is still in the game.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I heard that they were like talking about not or dropping things identified.
There were some people that didn't want it because they said that it was like an outdated, like 1980s online art, like Ultima Online mechanic. I see where they're coming from, that it is kind of a dated mechanic, but I also love unidentified in role-playing environments, whether it's D&D or like not knowing if what you're about to put on is a cursed item, which doesn't exist in Path of Exile, but like the idea of not knowing what you just dropped.
That was really fun in the old Fate games.
Yeah. Oh my god, I just dropped this freaking sick bear cowl, and then you put it on and it's like cursed minus 10 strength.
Mm-hmm.
No. Rip.
Yeah, I think my main thing against doing that would specifically be with how filters work in Path of Exile. It would be crazy easy for somebody to just make like a crazy filter and do one of the loot explosions. And although I guess with the new base type things, it doesn't matter as much. I can't remember what was the strat in PoE1 where you wore the like occultist vestment unique that auto identified everything.
That I actually have no idea.
There was a, I want to say it was a farming method for, what was it even? Was it for delirium or something? I don't remember. I don't.
Oh, it's probably for cluster jewels then.
It was.
Or
I don't.
jewels.
It was either for cluster jewels or it was one of the things with the Necropolis League.
Maybe.
It was one of the things with the Necropolis League where you could like roll specific super high level implicits, and then you could just go around and pick up like 8 different weapons from rare enemies that have +1 gem. Or
I'm
others.
So excited for the new jewels. I'm ready. Oh. And they're from Sanctum. Like you can, they're in the global loot pool, but the good shit's in the freaking trials, and I'm ready. Oh. The new jewels look so good. And there's so many jewel sockets on the tree now. I say there's so many, and I've seen 2, but I know there's more. They only showed a snippet. But like now that you can get just jewels that do nothing innately, but they enhance the passives in a radius around it, like timeless jewels and stuff did in PoE 1, or like rational doctrine and stuff like that. Which is why the Titan's 1 passive ascendancy bonus is just outrageously strong. If it works the way everybody's speculating it works, which we're gonna have to somebody's gonna have to ascend twice as him just to test it out to see. But if it works the way people think it works, it is bonkers busted. 50% increased effect of all of your small passives on the tree is insanity.
But I can help you finish a fight.
Considering you're probably going to end up, if you hit 95, and there's no masteries in PoE 2 as of yet, so like you're not using points there, you're going to probably end up with 85 to 100 small passives allocated, each of those getting a 50% bump, including attribute highways, going from 5 to 7.5 stat each. Bonkers. Like if that node existed in PoE 1, I think every character would immediately gain 800 max life, and then you would gain on your average build like 16% mana reservation just for free.
Jeez.
Because if you think, actually more than that maybe, because if you think about it, on your way to Charisma, you get 12. On your way to the top left one, which I don't remember, you get 8, 8, 16. So you get 16 in smalls and then a 16 in the big. So you would 50% there. That would be 4, 4, yeah, 8. So you would get 16 plus 16. That's 32 for 3 nodes. Nutty. But you gotta take the backpack first. They hid like the potentially strongest node behind what is like really good convenience, but effectively useless. And it's very funny. Grenade exploding or piercing twice. The jewel that increases nodes around it. Well, that would have to be something that increased the effect of notables, because the grenade exploding twice or the piercing bouncing, those are notables, not smalls. But, I mean, I've seen 2 jewels. I saw one that gives 15% shock chance, and then the one that gives passive bonuses to all the smalls around it, so, like, who knows what other jewels are in the game. In the end game of the trials, there's probably going to be unique jewels that do some real weird stuff. I would imagine fan favorites like Heatsink and Storm Shroud and stuff like that are going to probably still be in some way or another. brings in mind, if I have a Vol Orb, when I get my first jewel, I am going to corrupt it. I'm going to corrupt my first jewel. I'm holding myself to that one, just to see what it does. I want to Vol everything. The new Vols look so cool. I think they're going to be pretty up there in value. To be fair, they were never really low in value.
Bury that last treasure.
That's a good point. What the hell would corrupting a waystone do? Don't work the same way as maps do anymore. Would it just roll 8 mods? Blah, blah, blah.
Let me know if you ever get anything, Penta. I need.
Oh, everybody's still
Okay.
hanging tight.
Have they put out any messages on Twitter or anything?
The last thing I see. Let's see. We found a last minute crash that would have affected the majority of users that we have now fixed and we're doing our final checks and then opening access. If there are any other updates, we will let you know immediately.